Hello everyone, I'm Sir JC and you are watching Literature Unfolded. In this episode, we are about to discuss the literary analysis for the short story Footnote to Youth, written by Jose Garcia Villa. But first, let's have a little bit of a background of the author of today's short story. Jose Garcia Villa's pen name is Davglion. Davglion is a play of words using the names of three particular animals, which are dove, eagle, and lion. Jose Garcia Villa was mostly known for his comma poems. A comma poem is a creative writing technique where commas are used in a non-traditional way to create rhythm, emphasis, or unique meaning within the poem. This approach often challenges conventional grammar rules and invites readers to experience the poem in a fresh and innovative manner. Jose Garcia Villa became a national artist for literature in 1973, and he is considered as one of the best poets and short story authors of his generation. He is also coined as the father of the Philippine literature, since he received multiple awards and fellowships due to his brilliant works. Now, let's analyze the short story Footnote to Youth. Who are the characters in the short story? Dodong. He is the main character of the story who got married at the age of 17. Taeyang, the wife of Dodong who regretted marrying at an early age. Lucio, Taeyang's another suitor. Blas, Dodong and Taeyang's eldest son. Tona, the lady whom Blas wants to marry. When and where is the setting? The story is set in rural Philippines during the early 20th century. The setting highlights the simplicity and hardship of agricultural life. Therefore, the setting happened in the farm or province. The story also started in the haze of sunset. What point of view is being used in the short story? Omniscient third person. The story is narrated in the omniscient third person, offering an objective view of Dodong's experiences and internal struggles. Moreover, it also provides insights into the perspectives of other characters. What is the plot of the short story? Exposition. The story begins with Dodong, a 17-year-old who feels he is no longer a boy and is ready to take on adult responsibilities. The story begins with Dodong's recognition of his manhood and his desire to marry his girlfriend Taeyang. Dodong is portrayed as impulsive and somewhat naive, yet he possesses a strong sense of determination about marrying Taeyang. Physically, he is depicted with pimples and a hint of facial hair, indicating his transition into adulthood. Conflict: man versus himself. Dodong is contemplating in telling his father about his desire to marry Taeyang. Rising action: Dodong comes home determined to ask his father's permission. After completing his chores, Dodong shares his intention to marry Taeyang with his father. Their conversation is not easy. Dodong's father is not pleased with his son's decision, but feels helpless to change his mind. Dodong's decision to marry Taeyang leads him to seek his father's permission. He experiences nervousness and uncertainty, reflecting on his readiness for marriage and his dreams of a better life. On the other hand, Dodong's father expresses his belief that his son is too young. But, despite his father's hesitations, Dodong insists on his decision, and his father ultimately concedes. Climax: Dodong marries Taeyang, and soon after, they have their first child named Blas. As Dodong becomes a father, he is overwhelmed by a mix of joy and fear, grappling with the responsibilities that accompany adulthood. The climax comes with the birth of Dodong's first child, named Blas. Dodong has conflicting feelings about this event. He stayed outside of the house while Taeyang is giving birth. He is in the awe of becoming a father. He realized now that he is young. He also feels shame in front of his parents, perhaps for insisting on marrying in the first place. But it is his parents' kindness and pride that makes him able to claim his son and hold him in his arms. Falling action. Over the years, Dodong and Taeyang face the struggles of life. Dodong finds himself frustrated by the challenges of parenthood and the burden of providing for his growing family. Taeyang, who becomes exhausted from the constant childbirth and the household duties, secretly longs for a different life but remains devoted to Dodong. As Dodong adjusts to his new life, he becomes increasingly disillusioned. The difficulties of raising a family and the relentless demand of work take a toll on him. He reflects on his past choices with regret and a sense of resignation. Dodong has many more children now. Taeyang is worn down and became thin by the endless work and constant pregnancy over the years. Sometimes, Taeyang wondered what if she marries Lucio, who is 9 years older than her. Meanwhile, Dodong's youthful confidence in his adulthood changes into an adulthood filled with responsibilities. Resolution. Years later, Blas, now 18, announces his intention to marry Tona. Dodong recognizes the cycle repeating itself but feels helpless to prevent it. He realizes that the struggles he faced in youth are inevitable for his son as well. Dodong is now reflecting on the harsh realities of adult life. Despite his wishes for Blas to have a different path, he acknowledges that youth and love must prevail, and life will inevitably follow with its burdens. He feels a deep sadness for his son, foreseeing the difficulties ahead for them. Lastly, the story has come full circle in this part. When Dodong asks Blas, "Must you marry?" Then he finally comprehends and realized what his own father felt about his own marriage from the past. What other problems occurred in the story? Man versus self. Dodong's internal struggle with regret and disillusionment during the birth of his eldest son. Man versus self, when Taeyang also regretted her young marriage. What are the themes of the story? First, patterns of behavior, expectations, and life choices are handed down from one generation to the next. As the old saying goes, history repeats itself. In this context, parents' advice matter to avoid repeating misleading footsteps happened from the past. Second, there is a contrast between youthful idealism and the harsh realities of adult life. The story explores how romanticized notions of adulthood and marriage often lead to disillusionment when faced with the practicalities and real responsibilities of life. And that's it for today's video about the literary analysis of the short story Footnote to Youth. I hope you learned a lot. See you in our next video.